Hey there! Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here on Monday night, and for those of you who follow my channel, you know that Monday nights is my look back at a classic rock album. I had a bit of a debate. I had two albums that I had narrowed it down to doing, and I actually originally thought I was going to go with the other one, but then after I listened to them I decided to go with this one, and this is it. The Who's Who by Numbers. Sorry, I'm trying to get up close because the album is kind of white, so it really reflects a lot. But this is the Who by Numbers. As you can see, their heads are all drawn in, but their bodies and parts are kind of just numbers here. So you're supposed to connect the dots and then you'll get their bodies. That's the way it's supposed to be. And this album cover was actually drawn by John Entwistle. So so each of them was kind of doing their own covers, and Pete Townsend had just done Quadrophenia. So it was they said he'd spent about $16,000 on that cover, which was more than a small house at the time, whereas this one cost him 32 pounds. Yeah, sense of humor, I like it. So anyways, that's the album we're doing, The Who's Who by Numbers. This album was released October the 3rd, 1975 on Polydor Records. It was at the Shipperton Sound Studios, or Studios Sound Stage, in the Ronnie Lane Mobile Home. That's where they did this, in Shipperton, Surrey, in England. It's about 37 minutes or so long, and Glyn Johns is the producer of this album. Glyn Johns, well known, I think. Anyways, this is a good album. Features, of course, the classic Who band. Pete Townsend on... Well, he actually plays quite a bit on this album. I'm just going to read them off. He does play guitar, a little bit of keyboards. He does play a banjo on one particular song. I know that for sure. I remember hearing it. Accordion. And the ukulele too. Actually, I think it's the ukulele. Yeah, that's what it is. It is the ukulele. I was thinking it was the banjo, but I think it's the ukulele. He does lead vocals and backing vocals on this album. The lead vocals are on However Much I Booze and Blue, Red, and Gray. Then you've got John Entwistle on bass, French horn, trumpet, lead and backing vocals, doing the kind of dual lead vocals on Successful Story, which he does with Roger Daltrey, of course. Roger Daltrey on lead vocals, and Keith Moon on the drums. So that's the classic rock band. I think there's one other person. Yeah, the additional music, Nicky Hopkins does play the piano on one track too, and I'm not quite sure which one that is. Okay, so this was originally a vinyl album, so it has two sides, an A side and a B side, or one side and a two side, whatever you want to call it. I think the lead side, or the A side, was well represented on the radio, and the only song on this album that continues to get played in, or was continued to played in concert by The Who, was Squeezebox, of course, which was the big hit on the album. One of my favorite Who songs. I think it was probably, I'm guessing, but I think it was the first Who song that I ever really liked. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the first one, and it was, and I liked it long before I knew it was The Who. So I think my cousin used to have a collection of single records. I don't know if you remember those old 45 singles. And he had a box full of them, and one of the songs in there was by The Who, and it was called Squeezebox. But I never even paid attention to who it was. I just liked the song. And I was probably about 12 when I first heard it, maybe 11 or 12. And then I never really got into The Who, and for many, many years. I don't know why. I heard bits and pieces of their stuff, like Don't Get Fooled Again and Behind Blue Eyes, and I did like those things, but I never bought any Who albums and never really got into them until after my daughter was born in 2001. So yeah, it was a long time. But this album, of course, after I got into The Who, was one of the first ones I got. It has the song Slip Kids in it, which is a good, solid, kind of harder song on the album. catchy rhythm, catchy riff on this song. Quite like that song. However Much I Booze, it's kind of a social commentary. And you got to remember, a lot of these songs were written during P was having troubles and lots of issues going on, and so he was just writing about them, and everything that he wrote about they put on this album. So this was one of them. However Much I Booze, another great track. Squeezebox, of course, is the great song on the album, the radio staple. Kind of that sex, drugs, and rock and roll song that we've been talking about in the series. Anyways, imagine a man. Yeah, I love this. I love the vocal on this by Roger Daltrey. And Roger Daltrey's actually one of my favorite singers. I don't think he has the best rock voice. It's powerful, but not the best rock voice. It's just he's one of those guys that his emotions are forefront every time he sings, and I think that's what captivates me with him. I always feel like he's singing about something that actually happening to him right then and there. Success Story, another good track. Oh, I missed one. Yeah, I forgot. Dreaming from the Waist. This is the song Pete Townshend's gone on record as saying he hates playing, and John Entwistle went on record as saying he loves playing. So it's both loved and hated, this song, and I do quite like it. They Are All in Love. They Are All in Love and Blue and Red and Gray are two of the tracks that I'm not as big on this album. The last two, however, How Many Friends, I love this track, so good. And then, of course, in a Hand or a Face, this one has that crunching riff that they go throughout the entire song. Really catchy song. However Many Friends, that's one of the Pete Townshend songs. I do like Pete Townshend's voice quite a bit. I don't think he's as quite a good a vocalist as Roger Daltrey, but his voice is very different. So it's no mixing up the two. So quite good. So there you have it. Lots of this album is if you listen to it thoroughly, just listen to it and don't be distracting anything. You hear a lot of really good bass stuff on this. This is one of the better bass playing albums, I think. Lots of really good stuff here. Dreaming from the Waist, fantastic. I just love that. Just really some really good bass playing here by John Entwistle. I think the song Blue, Red, and Gray, the Blue, Red, and Gray is the one with the ukulele. I'm pretty sure that's the track. Yeah, I love the lyrics on it. The song is a little bit quirky though, but overall it's a great song. So yeah, if you connect the dots, you're going to get the body. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Look Back at a Classic Rock Album, The Who by Numbers by The Who. Now, the best thing to do is go listen to the album. That's what this is about. Turn you on to the music. So have yourself a good one. If you have any comments about the album, put them in the comment section below. Any things that you like, or if there might be an album that you want me to do for a classic rock album, as long as it's an album that meets my specific criteria, I will do it. And please like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. So we will see you next Monday night on Look Back at a Classic Rock Album. Take care.